Hey guys, my name is Peter. Welcome back, and today we're going to talk about the 3 documents that you need to have ready before you start building your video game. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so document number 1 is the game design document. Generally, you start off with a premise and you start off with an idea and you formulate that and build out a game design document that kind of drives, it's like the center of the first document, the driving force behind your game idea. The game design document will contain information about the mechanics, the story, the general style, the audience, who the game players will be. It also contains more detailed information about progression, about gameplay specifics, about how players will react and act in the world. It will have a lot of graphs, it will have a lot of text. It'll be very game centric. It'll be very abstract. There will be no or almost no reference to technical implementation, because the idea of a game design document is that you could possibly implement it in many different ways. So it tries to take away from the idea of here is the technical limitation, and that's what the second document is. The second document that you will need is the technical design document. The technical design document is used to define the constraints of the systems and technology that will be used for your game. So in our case, we're building a rogue style game where we've got some definitions for the type of gameplay. It's an action RPG with a little bit more of an standard RPG numbers-based game. So that's the design side of things, right? But the technical implementation is we want to build the game on Apple iOS and Mac OS systems. We want to build it using Swift. We want to build it using player state machines that are done like this. It's going to be a locally played game that will have backup online, like with your iCloud. So these technical things about how things are implemented, the language, the different systems, the renderer, how we render it, that's the technical part of things, right? So you have the technical design document, and that tells us about how we're going to build the systems and how they're going to work with the game design. So these two parts are connected. Now, there's the third part as well, and it's the technical and this art document. Okay, the second part is the art. The third part, sorry, it's not really the third. It's like the second. The 2 starts with the game design. Then we have the tech design and the art style. The art style guide is the document that defines what kind of art will be used in the game. It will talk about the general style, the color schemes, the basic elements and compositions, and how the art will be represented. So we're talking about fantasy style art. We're talking pixel art. So our guide will talk about those specifics about how we're going to draw the art, and also samples and templates of the arts that we want to use as reference. So when an artist comes along, they'll know how to work with it. So the general goal of these 3 documents is that you can communicate to somebody the idea behind both the game, the technology, and the art, and people that will be working on those specific areas will be able to take those documents and work with them. So at this stage, it'll be just myself and my brother working on these things, and we're looking for someone who's going to be able to do the art at some point. For now, we're going to pick up a pack of just standard art assets for pixel art, just to get the ball rolling with something, so we can have something displayed on the screen. But that's still a while away because we're still working on the documents. This is a good example of an art book. It was released for a game that I worked on that was designed by one of the world's leading most prolific leading game designers. Steve Faulkner created Puzzle Quest and Gems of War. This art book was created in 2014, and this isn't really an art style, but it can be used. I wanted to use this as an example because I have it on hand. It basically, we have the different races. So it talks. This is, the idea is that it has these different specific art style, arts art. It has these specific illustrations related to the game. So you have humans, you have the human face, and it talks about how to draw them later on. There you've got like different facial templates. So the reference is this art book as a good reference. It is what you would expect from an art style guide. An art style guide would be more. It would have more descriptions and more detailed information, not just about the illustrations, but also the in-game art and the different types of art assets that you would have. And also, there is an element that connects the art design to the technical design, and that really talks about things like formats. So how would you export the art? How is it stored? What kind of conversion system you use? The technical design will also talk about this, and will also define the tools. So one of the really important things that we'll talk about in the next video is tools, and how they really essentially drive the building of your game, what kind of tools we're going to make. By the time we get to the next video, we would have started these documents, and we'll have some, the ball rolling, we'll have some clarity around what it is that we're building. So before you even touch your first line of code, before you even touch your first pixel, there is some work and thinking and defining that you do to clarify what it is that you actually want to build. And it's exciting because you get to brain dump all these ideas about how you want to build things. And the idea is you brain dump onto these documents, and then you try and cut the fat, get rid of the stuff that you don't need, try to keep it simple. For a small indie team, that's exactly what you want. So guys, thanks for joining us at Texovara as we continue on our journey building this video game, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the next one. Bye.